evening, Northeast Ohio. I'm Zoltai, your Z-Man, and you're watching One Man Show. Tonight, I've traveled to the heart of Ashland County to talk about Ashland Eagles football. Head Coach Lee Owens will be my guest, along with Eagles players. Strap in, grab your snacks and your soda pops. One Man Show starts now. Well, we made it to downtown Ashland. Now if I can just find my way to the campus, I'll be okay. Well, we've got a lot of choices here. The question is, do I go straight, turn right, left, right? Well, I'll just go straight. Well, One Man Show. Finally made it to the campus of Ashland University. We're walking down the hallways here inside the phys ed facility. Through these doors, our interview is about to begin. Welcome to another edition of One Man Show. I'm your host, Zoltai. Tonight, as you saw just before the opening credits rolled, I ventured to Ashland County, to the campus of Ashland University, and the Eagles football team. With me now, Bryan Joyner, and you wouldn't let me do that, though, if we were on the field. Bryan's a middle linebacker for the Eagles this season, and you hail from Lorain Southview High School, do you not?
Yeah, Lorain Southview. Lorain County, how y'all doing out there?
You got to stay on the frame, though. We want to make sure all your friends and family can see you back at home. We're in Coach Owens' office. Lee Owens, former athletic director at Massillon. He was a coach at Massillon. He coached at Akron. Now he's here on the campus of the Eagles. What's it like so far with your two-a-days and your conditioning to play for Coach Owens?
Well, right now it's just an experience to me because it's my first year, and Coach Owens is like one of the best coaches I had so far. He makes everything simple coming into the freshman. So I like it right now, and I'm just hoping I can get a chance to get on the field.
Middle linebackers, all you play, no special teams?
Not right now. I think I'm going to get redshirted this year. But if the chance comes, I'll play.
So what class are you?
Freshman.
So you're a freshman just like Jon Schroeder?
Yeah, freshman like Jon Schroeder, my buddy from Lorain County.
You guys were always battling. You were telling me before we rolled the camera for the Golden Helmet all of the time, which is the highest football award in Lorain County.
Yeah, we was battling. I think he beat me by one vote. But, I can't be mad. He's a great player, and they won the state championship, so he deserved it.
How much different is high school football in contrast to college football? Because Ashland, even though it's a smaller division college program, it's still college football.
Yeah, it's a lot different because, you come in here and being a star at your school, you come in here as really a nobody that has to prove themselves. And you come here and the speed is different, a lot faster and a lot stronger people. You just got to come in here and, get your mindset.
We talk about strength, mindset. Does it help you? I mean, you were a good high school football player, one of the best in your area, in your conference. And what conference was Southview in?
The LEL.
That's right. But you come to college, it is kind of humbling, isn't it, to just be another number, another name on a piece of tape on a helmet. Does that make you better? Does that make you better at the college level, just being a number versus a star with a lot of great expectations? I
think it does because it makes you work harder, to get recognized. And, in high school, you just do everything because you got the ability. But here you got to know what you're doing. You got to put it all together because it's college now.
Well, in addition to being a good football player, you come to Ashland. It's kind of a rural community, a small town. You're a big-time football player. What kind of action does that get you off campus, maybe with the ladies, with maybe some of the friends and social life here on the campus of Ashland University there, Bryan?
Well, right now, while we're on camp, there really ain't no girls here. And I've grown to make a lot of good friends, like DJ Shaw, who's also from Lorain County. He went to LaGrange Keystone. He's a great basketball player. Kyle Clark from Black River. Jared Ambrose from Columbus Estelle. He's another inside linebacker. And, right now they're just helping me through camp because I don't think without them I would have made it because it's kind of hard coming in, being a freshman. You get a little homesick and you want to go back home, see your family, your girlfriends. But when the girls get here, we'll see what kind of, stuff I'll get to do, talk to them. A little charm.
We've talked about college football here with Bryan Joyner, former Southview Saint, now an Ashland Eagle. Might redshirt, you don't know. What What's going to decide if you redshirt this year?
Well, right now we got 4 experienced linebackers, and even though that I might come in and I have more ability, I still have to learn the system. I'm a young guy, so I'm gonna wait my time. But you'll hear from me. You'll hear from me.
I tell you what, you're such a great young man, quality character. You've interviewed well for the folks here on TV tonight. Who knows what your future holds for you? I think you'll do all right here in an Eagles uniform. Let's go back a step to high school football. Who are some of the teams that you think this year in the Lake Erie League that will be tough football programs, and reflect on some of the teams that have players coming back you think that maybe have a chance at a conference crown this year in the Lake Erie League?
Well, we're in the Erie, so we played Maple Heights, and Maple Heights, they got pretty good team always. They're a powerhouse in the Erie.
And I did that game on the radio. Tim Alcorn and I did. They had those 2 big backs, and you were telling me that big 300-pound lineman.
Yeah, they had some big linemen. The whole game they keyed off of me, and I was getting a little bit beat up. We stuck in it for a half, but we ended up losing, and they went to the playoffs. So to lose a playoff team, I'll take that.
How about teams like Lakewood? We were also talking, I think, about Menor changed coaches.
Yeah, Menor changed coaches, and they also lost a good quarterback, Tom Abbott, which goes to Ashland. He's a backup quarterback right now.
Nice, getting the plug in there for the old college, huh?
Yeah, he's a real good quarterback. We played him my junior year, and I think he threw for like 300 yards against us.
Wait a minute, where were you on the blitzes against Abbott?
Man, I'd get there, and he just throw it right over me. He's a great player, and I'm glad he's here. He can help us out. And another team is Lakewood. We played them last year, and they're always really good, and but they always lose to Menor because
I think a lot of people lose to Menor.
Menor's just the powerhouse, and so I'm about to go with Menor in the Lake and in the Erie, probably either Bedford or Maple Heights.
Excellent. We've been speaking with the middle linebacker, incoming freshman, Ashland University Eagles, Bryan Joyner, Southview High School, a Saint product through and through. Yeah. And he finished just a couple points shy of Jon Schroeder in Lorain County's football Golden Helmet voting a year ago. Bryan, thank you for being our guest here tonight on One Man Show. Good luck with the Eagles football program.
Thanks.
And who should we bring next here?
Bring in Little John.
We'll bring in Little Jon Schroeder, one of the top high school running backs a year ago here in Northeast Ohio, set to join us here on One Man Show. Well, Bryan Joyner certainly wasn't shy with the camera. You're watching One Man Show. I'm Zoltai. My second guest tonight here, of course, you guessed it, on the campus of Ashland University, is Jon Schroeder, the former Golden Helmet winner, actually the reigning Golden Helmet winner in Lorain County, the top honor in high school football in that area. And until the next guy wins it, it's still your award, isn't it, Jon? Come on over here. Stay in frame with me here. What was it like to go through the playoffs for Avon Lake High School and play for a state championship? I mean, that's something not too many young men get a chance to experience.
I thought it was a great opportunity. We had a great coaching staff, Coach DeLugas and all the other guys. They helped us do what we needed to do on the field and off the field, kept us focused, and playing in the state championship is a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and just a great opportunity to do that.
I kind of wanted to start our segment out here with the pennant. You and I was talking to you off camera. A lot of folks, you did so well in high school. You're one of the top running backs in Northeast Ohio a year ago. A lot of folks might have thought, well, Jon's a little small. Maybe he's not tall enough. Maybe he's not strong enough. Maybe he's not quick enough. Well, I tell you what, you've got a big-time college uniform and you're playing for a college program, aren't you?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to play for Ashland University. Great new coaching staff. Coach Owens is a very smart guy. He loves offense.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
He likes to move the ball, and I just like how he puts his thought into the game and his intelligence in the game.
Nice. How did you come to be at Ashland University? You probably could have looked at or talked to a lot of Division II programs.
Well, my brother goes here. He's a senior this year. He's a fifth-year senior. And not only did he help me come here, but I just like Coach Owens. He's a great coach. And just all the other coaches, my recruiting coach, Coach Meyer, just really great guys.
Hey, I see your knees look like they're in pretty good shape. Any injuries when you played high school football?
Got a little banged up here and there, but nothing too serious. Just now I'm here at college, and so pretty healthy.
If I were to ask your family, who's the better football player, you or your brother Jason, what answer am I going to get? First from mom, first, then from dad.
They probably really wouldn't answer it too because they don't like to play favorites, but they'd say I got the speed and he's got the size.
At what age did you find that you were starting to become a good football player? And did you always live in the Avon Lake area?
Yeah, I always lived in Avon Lake. I didn't start playing football until 7th grade.
Wow.
And then as soon as 9th grade came around, it hit me more than that year, than any other year.
Did the Avon Lake teams of the mid-'90s have an impact on you, maybe when you got to the middle school level and you started playing junior high football? Remember guys like Adam Therian, and a lot of the quality running backs? The Strauchs were up there for a while. Did the Avon Lake football program as a teenager in junior high have an impact on you for when you got to the varsity level? Because this is the true definition of a program when you apply it to the game of high school football.
Well, yeah, it certainly did. I mean, I grew up watching my brother play, and while I was watching him play, I also saw their backs and just how fun it looked out there and just the crowd screaming. Just a great feeling to be out there.
Hey, folks, you can't see it, but he's actually got his Avon Lake Shoreman shorts on here, still on the campus of Ashland University. I asked Bryan this a few minutes ago, the middle linebacker, Bryan Joyner from Southview, and I'm going to ask you too, Jon. How much of adjustment was it for you to come from Avon Lake football to Ashland University football?
Yeah, it's a great change. I mean, Coach Owens came from Division I school, Akron. He's got a lot of expectations, and he likes to move the ball a lot, and it's just different because I'm used to that I formation. I mean, we worked on the spread a little bit, but it's all spread, no huddle the whole game. It's just a great new change. It's awesome.
Our final question for Lorain County's Golden Helmet winner, top honor in high school football, Jon Schroeder. And I need to know this. Avon Lake a year ago ran the table, won the state championship in Division II. Jon, do you think, in all honesty now, that your Avon Lake football team of a year ago could have beaten St. Ignatius, Lakewood St. Edward, and Menor? I think Avon Lake last year at one point in time could have. What do you think?
I mean, honestly, I say it could have been a toss-up. I'm sure it could have been a close game.
Oh, that's not like they're going to come out and egg your car out here. Come on, tell us what you think.
I would like to say that we would win, but you know, if any two football teams are playing a game, anyone could possibly win. I'd like to say we'd win because I'm from Avon Lake, but obviously any team can beat any team depending on the location of the game, weather, just turnovers, stuff like that. So,
well, we're going to see you in purple and yellow for the next 4 years. Jon Schroeder, thank you very much for being my guest tonight here on One Man Show. Jon Schroeder, running back, incoming freshman on the campus of Ashland University. Next, Jon's older brother, Jason, 5-year player for the Eagles. Okay, now I've got the bigger muscular of the two Schroeder brothers here that play for the Ashland Eagles. I have Jason Schroeder now, and I asked your little brother, younger brother, a minute ago this question. If I were to ask your mom or dad, who would they tell me they always knew would be the football player and go on to football greatness?
Well, to be honest with you, to look at me, I'm the bigger size, so you'd think, I'd come out, do a lot more, but Jon definitely came through, I believe. I mean, he set all those school records, did all that thing, took Avon Lake to the very first state championship, so definitely Jon.
Are you going to act like Big Brother Bear and keeping him out of trouble with all the off-campus things that you can get exposed to in college, the girls, maybe the campus parties, things like that?
Well, definitely. I know my parents look at me and see a role model, so they're going to make me keep Jon in check.
Do you embrace that role, or would you rather not be his role model?
Well, I love being his role model, I think it's great. Makes me feel good to knowing that he'll look up to me and work as hard as I have, being here for going on 5 years now.
Let's talk about those 5 years in an Eagles football uniform. How exciting has it been for you, Jason, to play college football close to home here in Northeast Ohio at Ashland?
Well, it's been a real dream. I mean, growing up, always wanting to play college football, and, it came true. I mean, we had some ups and downs now, but still, playing has definitely been a dream.
This season for the Eagles, this television show that we're doing here, One Man Show, is going to air throughout the fall all the way up to Christmas, maybe even in the spring, so we won't date ourselves too much. But let's look at the 2004 schedule. What does it mean to you? What do you have for goals that you want to accomplish on the field this year for the Eagles?
Personal goals are pretty easy. I mean, I want to be an all-GLIAC player. You know,
GLIAC, for the folks at home that don't know, spell that all out. That's the conference at Ashland University.
Greater Lakes Athletic Conference.
Say that again.
The Greater Lakes Athletic Conference.
Perfect. Go ahead.
Well, you know, I want to be an all-GLIAC, a nice solid lineman on that force that we have to let Schwam and Antoine run. I would love to be an All-American. I mean, that's definitely the next goal on top of that.
Now, physically, how big are you and how much can you lift, and where do you rank as far as other players maybe in the GLIAC conference?
Well, I've gotten a lot bigger since high school. I played around 220, 230 in high school. I'm about 280 now.
A little bigger.
Yeah, so I gained some weight, you know. And
get you a commercial truck plate.
Yeah, and in high school, you know, I probably benched around 250, and I bench around 350 now. So
wow.
Definitely college will put the weight on and give you a good weight program to gain those benches, squats. You know, I'd probably squat around 600, clean around 330, you know.
Wow.
So
now, as far as individual team awards, I know teams always have this, whether it's defense or offense, individual awards. You have to be one of the strongest men on this defense with those kind of numbers.
Well, yeah, you know, I do have good numbers, but I'm not going to give it up because Jason Schwam is the man on this team. He's our tailback. He probably weighs 220. He's probably about 5'9", and he easily benches 450, squats well over 600. He's a machine.
We're talking with Jason Schroeder, former Avon Lake High School football product, now a senior for the Ashland Eagles football team at the college ranks. Final question. I'm going to throw some high school teams at you, and I did this with your brother in kind of a pseudo way a couple of minutes ago. I want you to tell me whether Avon Lake is the winner or the loser. So I'm going to say, as an example, Avon Lake versus St. Edward. Just say Avon Lake if you think the Sherman will win. And we can either benchmark this year's team or last year's team, because Avon Lake, for those of you who may only read about them in the Plain Dealer or your local newspaper, the Sun papers or the Lorain County papers, is one of the top high school football programs over the last 5 to 10 years, Northeast Ohio, culminating in a state title a year ago. You ready? Rapid fire. Yeah. Lakewood St. Edward.
Avon Lake.
Cleveland St. Ignatius.
Ignatius.
Whoa. Mentor.
Mentor.
Lakewood.
Ooh, that's tough. I don't know. Lakewood.
Brunswick.
Definitely Brunswick. Brunswick comes to play.
Valley Forge.
Not even sure.
Look at that. Parma Valley Forge gets the greatest hesitation. Was Avon Lake truly, and I know you won the title, but do you firmly believe your younger brother's team a year ago, were they truly the best team in the state of Ohio in Division II?
You know, honestly, watching them, you know, because I had to travel, you know, so I only got to watch them and read on the internet. I did not believe that they would go that far, you know. I believed in John, and, you know, I knew he can do things. And I knew he was going to be the center of that team, but I did not feel that they had that offense line, you know, but they definitely proved me wrong.
We've been speaking with Jason Schroeder. We've also talked with his younger brother, Jon Schroeder. Both are football players, brothers for the Ashland University Eagles. And we also started off with Bryan Joyner, a Southview Saint. There's more show coming up next on tap. Lee Owens, the head football coach of the Ashland Eagles. Well, the best part of the show is upon us now. Lee Owens, the new head football coach of the Ashland Eagles. Lee, thanks for being our guest here tonight on One Man Show.
Thanks, Dave. It's great to be here. You know, you always do a great job promoting the athletic programs, high school programs in your area, and keeping track of some of the college programs around the state. So anytime I can help out, I'm a big fan of yours.
You know, the greatest testament to your work ethic as a coach and the quality you bring to the Eagles football program is when I was talking with Jason a minute ago, Jason Schroeder, off camera. I'd ask him, what's the difference between last year and this year? He said, well, we probably only had 4 or 5 guys that could bench a certain weight. He says, we now have 12 guys. And within just a short period of time, less than a year, your presence and your philosophies have already increased the strength level of just the linemen alone.
Well, we put those we put the players in the weight room early December when I was hired, and we were lifting weights half the day and recruiting the other half the day, and we were able to bring in some good recruits and get the lifting program going. I've always felt as you build a program, the first step is the strength and getting a little bigger and getting a little stronger, and I think we've taken a step in that direction.
Players from, let's say, western Cuyahoga County, St. Ignatius, Lakewood St. Edward, the Parma schools, Rocky River, Brecksville. Will you also be looking to recruit a lot of those kids as well?
We'll need to do that. And, with Tommy Abbott come down here from Mentor, I think that's going to really help us too. And, that's a great program. And get into some of those schools in that area. You visited with the Schroeders from Avon Lake and Bryan Joyner from Lorain Southview. And we had DJ Shaw down this year. And, so I should have had DJ over here for you to talk to. We've really done a nice job up there, and we're going to expand and do a better job.
It was a big change. A year ago you were at Akron, now you're at Ashland. You had to move your family and pack everything up and move to the next county, basically, didn't you?
Well, I tell you, in 9 months, you go from a Division I job in the MAC to what I think is one of the best Division II jobs in the country. But you're right, you move a family. We remodeled the weight room, remodeled our locker room, remodeled our offices, got a team, recruited a team, and got ready for this opener against St. Joe.
We're talking with Lee Owens, the head football coach at Ashland University tonight on One Man Show. I'm your host, Z Zoltai. A lot of folks in Northeast Ohio, they think of Division II football. They think of maybe, John Carroll or Baldwin Wallace. Maybe they don't know the difference between the programs. How is Ashland to some of the other named programs in Northeast Ohio as far as colleges and college football?
Well, it's a Division II school, and that's a big difference. And in the state of Ohio, we're normally a Division I, Division III program. It's MAC or Ohio State, or it's the Division III programs that you talked about, the Mount Unions, the John Carrolls, the Baldwin Wallaces of the world. And we're kind of in between, and people don't know as much about Division II. But it's a great level of football because you have some of the scholarship money, Division I, but you have some of the pure passion of the Division III program.
Nice. The boosters here at Ashland, how supportive have they been of your arrival here on campus?
Well, I tell you, they've embraced myself, the coaching staff, my family. People travel across the country to have a job like this, and I had the chance to come home. I grew up 10 miles from here, south, and went to Madison High School, and I coached at Crestview 10 miles west of here, so I've always surrounded this community and went to school here, did my graduate work here, so it's really like coming home. I have a son that redshirted at Akron last year, playing on this team now. He's a backup fullback. I have a daughter, just made the cheerleading squad. She'll be on the sideline, so it's turned into a real family affair, and it's just a perfect fit.
And it's just a short drive from Northeast Ohio, less than an hour down Interstate 71 or down Route 58, depending which part of Northeast Ohio you're coming from. Ashland University football, one of the best-kept secrets. As far as the players that you inherited here, how good of a team do you have or will you have here in 2004?
We think we have a chance. I mean, we're young. Most of our team, we have 20 freshmen in the two deep, and out of our 90 players, 60 are new players. So, that's a big number, and we're going to make some inexperienced mistakes and grow and mature. But Nick Strantz, a quarterback from Willard, who was the guy who followed Charlie Fry, and so we've always had those Willard quarterbacks in line. But how well he plays will really be a big determinant in how well the football team does.
We'll stop there for a second. I'm going to ask you a question. I'll do a close-up review on the answer. How's that? Okay. How you doing on time?
Z, I'd like to take a moment here just to tell everyone at home about the fine school that we have here. We've talked a little bit about the football program, but there's so many positive things going on this campus right now. We're 3 new buildings, brand new education building going up that we're breaking ground for here in the next week. We've already broke ground for a brand new recreation center. Would be one of the finest facilities in the country, and particularly for a small private school to have a rec center like that is incredible. We're also building the Kettering Science Hall. $40 million worth of renovation at a small private college is not too bad. But we've got a great academic reputation here, a real strong teacher education school. The thing that is good about this school, too, is it's a kind of campus where, everyone stays on campus. It's residential. We don't have a lot of commuters, and you get a great collegiate experience. If you come down and you take a look at the campus, I tell you what, it's an easy place to recruit to, believe me. It's and the location, like you mentioned earlier, we're 70 miles from Columbus, 70 miles from Cleveland, 50 miles from Akron, Canton, right down the interstate. We couldn't have a better location or better geography. So it's a great place, and both my son and daughter are attending here, and they've really enjoyed it so far.
With the arrival of Lee Owens as the new head football coach at Ashland University, even the media guide got a facelift, as you can see there. Our three seniors on the cover sporting the Goodfellas look. They are left to right, defensive back Aaron O'Reilly, defensive lineman Jason Reynolds, and wide receiver Michael Hall. You can see spiffy new media guide to go along with everything else for the Ashland University Eagles. Lee, just a couple of final questions on One Man Show tonight. The alumni here for Ashland University football has to be pretty strong.
You know, it really is. At Akron, almost sometimes it was kind of like our alumni were undercover, and it was hard to get them to really get involved and be engaged with the program. And maybe because they didn't have the same kind of collegiate experience where on the campus there. But here, 1,005 living football alums, and wow. I have all their names. They're all in my computer database. I've met most of them. Nice. You know, they're demanding of, and you know, and with Fred Martinelli, who won 200 games, a lot of those alums come from pretty good football programs, and they want to see it again. So I always get teased. They said, would you like to break Coach Martinelli's record? Would you like to win 200 games? I said, oh, absolutely, because that means I'll live till I'm 99. So, but it's with that tradition and with the alums that had the experience here and want to have this football program back to where they're really proud of it. You know, that's the kind of help that you need out there in the communities, and there are a lot of alums in your community.
Certainly there are. As far as the conference that the Eagles play in, how tough of a type of football is this? And for our viewers at home, set the table. Tell them some of the teams in Ashland's conference for college football.
Yeah, Z, I mean, that's a great question, too, because people, again, they're not familiar with Division II football, and they're not familiar with the GLIAC. The GLIAC is the best Division II conference in the country. The national champion has come out of our conference the last 2 years. To put it in this plane, yeah, the national champion come out of our conference but didn't win the conference last year. Saginaw Valley won our conference. Grand Valley finished second, beat them in the playoffs, and won the national championship. So when you have teams like Saginaw Valley and Grand Valley and Hillsdale and Northern Michigan, Gannon and Findlay, it's a really good football conference.
Football teams in Northeast Ohio, do you still follow your alma mater or any of the schools that you've coached at in the past?
Oh, you better believe it. The one thing I wish those Akron Zips the best of luck. I hope Charlie Fry and company go on and have a great season, beat Penn State in their opener. I love those guys. I mean, we were like family. I've never been inspired by a football player more than I was by Charlie Fry. So I'll always be his fan.
Lastly, can I get you to be my guest on one of my radio shows here down the line? And you make the transition from Akron to Ashland. I want you back on the air. You promise to at least come back, be a phone-in guest, or be one of my guests during the wintertime?
Absolutely. It's a commitment we've got. I'd love to do it.
Excellent. There you have it. Lee Owens, the head football coach at Ashland University, our guest tonight here on One Man Show. Thanks, Lee. Appreciate it. Yeah.
You do a nice job.
It'll be a nice piece. That other show I ran that thing 10 times.
Did you?
Yeah, right up until the end of the season. Yeah.
Oh, good.
That was a good show. That was a nice piece because I did some other drop-in. Get back. Oh, geez, that was good. Ashland, Ohio. Sit back and enjoy. Grab your snacks and snowdas. Snowdas.
What they like to do, what they expect, and just, oh, crap, I was going to say something, I forget.